Hello and welcome everyone again into another video. Today's video we'll talk about the top teams in the Open Ultra League. This is season 23 and this is the first time we've had Ultra League, so we're gonna explain Ultra League a little bit more than we previously do. So Ultra League, as always, it's a league where like the CP cap is 2500. You can use whatever Pokemon you can fit in within 2500 CP. Whether it's legendary, whether it's a mythical or like just an XL Pokemon. So what's good in Ultra League, and you know, like it used to be, like my map used to be good lead, good safe swap, generalist, which is good everywhere, but now because they are buffing so many Pokemons that we have just a very big list to talk about. And probably whatever Pokemon you see here, you will find yourself a team using that Pokemon. If we take a look at PvP ranking, Billy Bold is in rank number 1, followed by Lapras, the Shadow, and the non-Shadow Vert, and followed by Corviknight. Corviknight is the most overrated ranked Pokemon, but we will talk about it and why it's overrated. There is Fortress though. I think that's why Corviknight is actually good. There is Dusknoir, which I do believe that it's my favorite one in this ranking because that Pokemon just hit insanely hard, whether it's from fast move or from charge move. You can see that Moltres, the Galarian, is after. There is also Dusknoir, the Shadow, Grumpig, Feraligatr, the Shadow, Grumpig, Shadow, Giratina Altered is back into the ranking, and that's because there is so many poison and there is so many bugs in the system right now. You can see that Golipod and Tentacruel, and if you pay attention to Tenta, it's actually running Acid. Why Acid instead of Poison Jab? Well, Acid is a move that got a buff this season, and now it's a Shadow clone, which is the best fast move, arguably. So that's basically like the Ultra League top 14 Pokemons. But we always talk about the top performing Pokemons, and if we go and check the top performing Pokemons, I don't think that this is an accurate ranking on PvPoke. PvPoke says that Venusaur is the top ranking. I do believe that this is for like last season because there was so many water Pokemons, but this season there is so many bugs which make Venusaur slightly underwhelming. And but on the other hand, if you see Lapras and Talon, they are actually two of the most powerful Pokemons in the Ultra League. There is Dusknoir, there is Steelix, Grumpig, Steelix, or those are all great. Galarian Weezing was so good last season. I think this season is gonna fall off a bit because of the Lapras and the other type or the other water Pokemons. So we talked about the top performing Pokemons. Let's just talk about the top performing teams. Those teams were built by me. So if you appreciate these teams, please feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, because it takes like hours into making this video. So the number 1 Pokemon PvPoke is Billy Bold. If you guys know, there is an actual streamer we call Billy Bold. And this streamer provided me with those two teams. He actually didn't. I built those teams, let's be honest. So Billy Bold, why is Billy Bold so good? Well, Billy Bold got a buff last season, 2 seasons ago. Well, like they gave it Parabolic Charge, then they buffed Parabolic Charge, and that wasn't enough to make it good. Then they buffed Parabolic Charge again, and then they gave it Sucker Punch, which is arguably the best fast move in the game. Yes, you said arguably Shadow Claw is the best fast move in the game, and now it's saying that Sucker Punch is arguably the best fast move in the game. Well, if you do it, if you prefer more fast move pressure, Sucker Punch is the better one. If you prefer more energy pressure, Shadow Claw is better. Both are insanely strong. Those two together makes the best fast move when it comes to DPE multiplied by DBT multiplied by EBT, which is damage per turn multiplied by energy per turn. Those two fast moves just like insanely strong. Then you have like the Fury Cutter and the Psywave type of fast move. So what Billy Bold is weak to is basically grass and ground, so that's why you need to make sure you have a grass and ground counter. What does that? Grumpig does that, and Lapras does that. Lapras in fact is not weak to grass. The only grass that beat Lapras is literally you could argue about Credeli, which is annoying enough, but there is so many bugs right now which makes Credeli's life much harder. So that's why you need to pair it with something like Dusknoir. So you can have a neutral play into the ground type Pokemons. The first one is kind of weak to ground, but to be honest, the only ground is kind of there is Zygarde and there is Gastro, and both are kind of underwhelming in the current Ultra League meta, and if you use them, you will know why. Now, if you take a look at the second ranking Pokemon, Lapras, and that's why our next teams are about Lapras. So Lapras is weak to fighters, so we need to make sure we have a fighters counter. On this team, we have 2 hard counters to the fighters. Second one, we only have 1. This team is kind of here ABA weak to the fighters, but remember that Lapras has Psywave, which does super effective into the fighters, so it's not technically weak to the fighters, which make Lapras solid enough into the fighters. You can always invest a shield, catch a move, or do some shenanigans you want to do. Like, you have to pull something through. Like, if you're playing ABA into fighters, then you have to have a play. Whether you're just going to shield, whether you're going to catch a move, or something like that. Catching a close combat on your Dusknoir will help a lot, trust. So yeah, the first team is kind of like a bulky, safer team. I always give like, the bulky is like kind of like lesser dependent on skills, more like just you need to play your sets and you need a good team that can carry you, whether you're paying attention or not. Second one is like kind of you have to double shield the Dusknoir. This Pokemon here can be replaced by any dark Pokemon, by the way. Now, to the most overrated Pokemon in the entire Go Battle League, and the Pokemon that PvPoke loves, and we might get a community day off, and that Pokemon is Corviknight. So the thing about Corviknight is basically that this Pokemon is a PvP Sims hero. This Pokemon is gonna get a community day, and Niantic said that this Pokemon will get its legacy move is Sky Attack. But guess what? Niantic doesn't read, Niantic doesn't know anything about their game. This Pokemon already has a Sky Attack, and it's not legacy. I think there was like some speculation that they will give it a Drill Pick or Air Cutter. Either of those should make this Pokemon much stronger. So we can go back into using Steel Wing instead, and I am a big fan of that. I mean, Steel Wing is kind of like a mediocre fast move, but at least I don't have to use stupid Sand Attack. Because, remember, do you know, guys, if you're on Sand Attack, you just lose to Dragonite? Yeah, you wall Dragonite and you lose because Sand Attack is just double resisted by Flyers. You get cooked by Talonflame. I mean, you get cooked by Talonflame either way. So if you want to run Corviknight, you have to account for electric type Pokemon. So here we have 2 electric counters. We have Billy Bold running Sucker Punch, which does neutral to the opposing electric in case they are running electric. And you have a hard answer to the electric here. But here, if you want to run this, you're kind of weak to the Mud Slappers. But we have Blastoise and Jellicent, or Blastoise Jellicent, whichever you prefer, the Jellicent here, and that will give you like a solid tanky team with the Corviknight. Now, moving into the actual Chad, and the biggest Giga Chad in the meta, which is Fortress. Shadow Fortress is even better if you have one. You want to invest in one. This is the correct time. If you want to wait, I think it's going to get a huge nerf next year. By next year, I mean literally after August, and that's when like Pokemon Go World Championship will be held, right? So the thing about Fortress is weak to ground, and it's weak to fire. So you need 2 answers to ground and fire, and that is literally a water type Pokemon. The best 2 water type Pokemons are arguably Jellicent, Blastoise, and you don't want to run Golisopod because Golisopod is another bug, so you don't want to have 2 bugs, you know? What's wrong with that? There is literally nothing wrong with that. I don't know what I'm talking about. And you could also do a Zygarde here as well. You could also run Zygarde and Billy Bold and have yourself as much electric damage as possible. Now, moving into another solid Pokemon, which is I do love and I do enjoy using, which is Grumpig. What does Grumpig do? It's a Psywaver, and it's the Psywave Pokemon that beats all other Psywave users except the Malamar. Malamar is kind of the Psywave that beats all the Psywave, but Malamar is kind of dead because Malamar just get demolished, get melted down all the way by the bugs, and the bugs are incredibly strong in the current meta. I kind of don't enjoy that. I was like, when they gave us Shadow Malamar, I was expecting Shadow Malamar to be the main Pokemon at Worlds, but then they instantly nerfed it for some reason. I don't know why. And yeah, this is the kind of the world we're living in now. We have to watch and enjoy whatever they are doing. So because it's weak to Sucker Punch shots, because it's weak to the bugs, there is one Pokemon that destroys both, and that Pokemon is Tinkaton. Tinkaton, the great news about it is that a Lucky IV is good enough for level 50, and it might not be as impressive, but it's 100% is as tanky as you may think. It's so good to use, but it's not an offensive type Pokemon, like it's a defensive type Pokemon. I mean, it has two of the best defensive types in the game, the Fairy and the Steel, and they do cover each other as well. Like, you're technically only weak to basically ground and fire. Which is, and for the fighting, no, the Fairy will take care of that. You can pair it also with Galarian Moltres. Galarian Moltres is like got a huge buff now. It has access to fly. I mean, it's not a huge buff, it's a great buff, but it might not be good enough, because you expect Pokemons now to have a 35 energy move or at least a 40 energy charge move, and Galarian Moltres just doesn't have that. And as far as the second team, we're just running the casual double, the Billy Bold and the Fortress. And I'm moving to the main Pokemon that I've been just gaslighting, which is Dusknoir. Dusknoir is going to be my favorite Pokemon in the Themed Cups and in the Ultra League this season. Sadly, I don't have a Tinkaton to use, so I will have to try and just use something that is not as good, but I have to find like some... something that I can throw there. Probably I'm just going to use a Billy Bold, I think, or a Cradily. Yeah, Cradily with Dusknoir and a third Pokemon with yeah. I like those 5 Pokemon. I'm just gonna end up using 2 because I don't have all. Well, I have this, I have this, I have this, I have this. It's just I don't have the Tinkaton, so I don't know why I'm exaggerating. So this is going to be here the team that I will be using in the Ultra League. Now, as far as Malamar, I don't recommend you use Malamar, because if you get it stuck against a ghost, against a bug, you're pretty much losing the game. There is no coming back from that. So use it at your own risk. But Yashar, what do you recommend using? I recommend using Tinkaton. Like, this Pokemon is like, it's not a Pokemon, it's like literally a Mario Kart character. I don't know what is it doing here. I feel like they hired a designer from Mario Kart, and that designer had like a bunch of design that they did not submit to Mario Kart, and Pokemon were like happy to buy them. Like, look at this. This is literally not similar to something like this. Look how goofy this thing is, and look how detailed this thing is. Look how goofy and stupid this one is, and look how 3D detailed this Pokemon here. It's totally off. There is something different with this Pokemon, so I feel like it's not fitting well, even though it's kind of like a well-designed Pokemon. With Tinkaton, you need to cover the fire and the ground, and nothing covered those two better than Moltres, to be honest. You could also do some Jellicent shenanigan. You could do Blastoise. You could do Dusknoir as well. Billy Bold is just, according to PvP, is the best Pokemon, so you could have that if you want. Now, as far as Cradily, the thing about Cradily is that Cradily now has Acid, so you could run Acid and have yourself like a spammier Pokemon, less clunkier, because like if you're not on 3 turns, it's kind of clunky sometimes in some situations, where like if you just run Acid, like your life will be way more straightforward. By your life, I mean your GBL life. Cradily kind of love to have a ghost type, because Cradily does kind of beat all the dark types, except for the Scrafty, and this thing can take care of the Scrafty. This thing also can take care of the Scrafty, to be honest. Now, Typhlosion is a Pokemon that scares the heck out of me. I don't know what to do with this Pokemon, so I'm not going to give you any tips about it, because I don't enjoy playing against Typhlosion. Now, Golisopod, as Zionic would say, is actually such a Chad in the current meta. It's so freaking good, but you might still want to run Shadow Claw. I mean, the fact that you lack the stab damage when you run Shadow Claw, I feel like you always run Fury Cutter now. It's just because it's superior of a fast move, and it's a stab. It's a 1-turn though, so I don't know. I literally have to test it out to judge which fast move is better. I think Fury Cutter is supposed to be a superior, but the thing is, if you have Shadow Claw, you always run Shadow Claw. That's the rule in Pokemon Go. Now let's talk about some teams from the previous seasons. So here I'm just going to tell you like some teams that were popular and how you can use them in the current season. So as an example, I was running Dragonite, Drapion, Cradily, no, not Scrafty. What's the name of this Pokemon? Gastro. So I'm just going to have to replace the Drapion with either one of those two, and then that should be a good to go team. If you guys remember the Gastrodon, Licky and Optimus Prime team, well, we have to replace the Licky with either of those two. the pit GR teams, you have to fit in a Billy Bold or a Fortress with that. This team, I actually tried this team and it was good last season. So I have to replace the Malamar with either of those two, the Billy Bold or the Fortress. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. I tried to keep it shorter than usual. Usually these videos take around 20 to 25 minutes. And I found out that people just don't watch beyond more than 7 minutes. So yeah, thank you so much everyone for watching. If you watched till the end, please let me know in the comment section below. And if you like the content, make sure to leave a like. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day, night, or whatever you're having. Peace.